Aimee,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Your thoughts now, not only on the success of the showing tonight and then the full National Theater showing Friday, but beyond that, because we know this is going to be very positive, but to have the consistency with you and the directorship and producership, looking down the road, more movies like El Chicano on a very consistent basis. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a great time. As we all know, Latinos consume media, and we are one in every four movie tickets. But when it comes to genre and action films, we're actually 75% of the audience, and yet only 3 to 5% of the characters on screen. So there's this huge disproportionality, and I think people are hungry to see themselves. Fast and the Furious, most of the cast is minorities. It does really well. Coco made $800 million. Black Panther made $1 billion in 26 days. Crazy Rich Asians did blockbusters. So I think that people are hungry for diverse voices and to see themselves represented. And I think that if this movie does really well, as I hope it does, it'll be a good benchmark for Hollywood to say, oh, well, Chicano did really well. You know, Latinos came out in strides and they were able to reach not only the American Latino audience, but, the Telemundo and Univision audience. And we should make more movies like El Chicano. We should make La Chicana, and we should do all these other films through a Latin, filter. So I hope it's the beginning of a movement. I hope it's the start of a new chapter, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that it's the catalyst for more things to come, because we're such a rich culture. Let's tell our stories.
Two quick questions.
Sure.
The understudies, the young ones, las chicanas, the chicanitas,
Yeah.
as well as, of course, the males. But for you, leading the way here now, a great opportunity for those who have ambitions to get into acting and film. Your thoughts on that you could share with them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. One of my favorite stories to tell is, as an actor, you get rejected a lot, and I didn't get 17 auditions in a row. And the 18th, I almost gave up. I was really bummed out. I went home to Chicago to talk to my family, and I thought, I think I'm going to give up. I don't know what to do. I go in, I'm prepared, they like me, but I haven't gotten 17 auditions in a row, and I was so upset about it. And the 18th was Dexter. So my advice to them is don't give up. It's not really about talent, to be honest. It's about perseverance.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good evening. Buenas noches. ¿Cómo están? Rico Cabrera, East LA Sports Scene.
remember you.
Okay, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, good. Anthony Citric Campos, and you're here.
Yeah, we're here,
okay, and this is a very big moment. Talk about your feelings, your thoughts on looking at a movie that has all Latino cast, and your good friend George Lopez playing a major role. Please let our viewers know.
To me, it's very, very man. I can't find the words, but it's like a beautiful thing, to see an all Latino cast and to see people that I've worked with in the past to all come together and do this. And it's just an amazing feeling to see that. So I have to come out here and show support, man.
And this is a very big, momentous situation, a red carpet for the debut or premiere screening of El Chicano.
Yeah, man.
What a better way to introduce a superhero
Exactly.
than under the name of El Chicano.
Chicano, yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Right. No, I mean, you said it. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. You said it just perfect, man. But that's real talk, man. All they were missing is the Chicano soundtrack and the guys from the real Chicano.
Well, you're now only a good friend of George Lopez. You're an actor yourself.
Yeah,
you're a
man.
musician.
Yeah.
Talk about looking at that part of the adding to the next movie for a nice soundtrack.
I mean, you never know, man. Like now I kind of been talking to Bray, and I think he might know how to do a little bit of music, so that might be a possibility to do a part 2 to it, man. You know what I'm saying? And just shout out to George Lopez, Bray, and all the whole cast, man.
And tell our viewers currently what is Citric doing now that the public, his fan base can really latch onto.
Right now, I've just been working on my podcast, so I got a few episodes out. So it's Big Citric's podcast. It's pretty much on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, pretty much anywhere you hear a podcast. And also in development, we have a new show called we're working on a series called Big Citric's World. Okay. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's just about everything that's going on in my world and a bunch of personal stuff and just everything that's in the business that's going on. So we showcase a little bit of everything.
And last question, Citric. This is really the moment here for La Raza, for us. Yeah. It's our turn to go into a movie, get the popcorn, get the family, and relax and watch the gente, La Raza, perform.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big moment. Just one more time to recap how how important it is for our public and our folks to come out and support this movie.
Yeah, it's extremely important. You know, you got to come out and support it because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, go into Hollywood and we pay a lot of money to see all these movies. Like, why not represent for your own peeps, you know what I'm saying? So, and make it happen. That's why you're going to see our faces in more stuff, down the line and bigger productions, and, so just got to come out and support.
Que viva la raza.
Que viva la raza.
Citric. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Good luck.
Good seeing you again.
Okay, coming to you from the red carpet here for the premiere of El Chicano right here at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and we're going to be bringing you some of the actors and especially invited guests here that will be speaking to us on this edition of East LA Sports Scene as we go into cinema and entertainment. We'll be back with more of our coverage here at the ArcLight for the premiere of El Chicano. Here we go. Speaking now with David Fernandez Jr., and you are here to support this special moment in time for us. We're marking it on our calendar, April 30th, 2019, the premiere of our movie.
That's right.
Can we say it in those terms?
Right. That's right.
El Chicano.
Yes.
Talk about it, David. How do you feel?
I'm so excited. I'm good friends with the director, Bray, and he deserves all of this. He's been working hard for so many years in the industry, and it's his time to, have the platform and to display his gifts and talents and include all these gifted actors as well. It's amazing.
All Latino cast.
That's right.
One of a kind, and we're going to really, they're setting the bar for more of production for our people to see. And as you know, we see all movies, and wherever they are, it could be from the science fiction to you name it. We watch movies, and this is going to be one that we really want to really take ownership of.
Yeah, you know what I love is that we're like 2 out of 5 movie ticket sales, if I'm correct, and also we're like 1.5 trillion in buying power. And so the time is now, and I think that there's a big shift happening in Hollywood, and I'm seeing it all over with like Jane the Virgin, Gina Rodriguez, you know what I'm saying, and TV shows, and even George Lopez being here having the first Latino sitcom. The time is now, and I'm excited, and I'm so grateful that the opportunity is here, and we're stepping into our greatness now.
And Dave, you are no stranger to production or to Hollywood or to this industry. Tell our viewers that may not know you, recognize you on first glance, but what you do, where they can find you and watch you.
Well, I'm best known for the role of Spooky in End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. I've been on Justified, Weeds, Sons of Anarchy, Fear the Walking Dead. I just did Lowriders as well, and my newest TV show is going to be, I play the role of Jesus in the TV show Black Jesus. Yeah, it's on Cartoon Network. It's going to be fun. It's a comedy. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And people can find you on social media, of course?
Oh, yeah, definitely. David Fernandez Jr. Just find me on Instagram or, Twitter or whatever. Facebook. It's all good.
And a little bit about your background. Native of Los Angeles? Or?
You know what? No, I'm actually from in San Diego, born and raised in San Diego. I worked in the educational system in the nonprofit for many years. And just 10 years ago, I literally was reflecting back on my life, and I made the decision to step into what I loved to do as a little child, which was create characters and use my imagination and build, tell stories.
Yes. And is your family, of course, somewhere involved in your career path, that they've helped you and supported you all this time?
You know what? I love them so much because, they taught me a lot. They gave me a lot of tools to be able to pursue my dreams and create my own reality. They have supported me 100%, and that's such a big help. That's such a big support to have that family support.
David Fernandez. Thank you,
the
my
legend
brother.
right here, the legend. Yes, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we speak? Okay,
You got it.
Okay, and now here we are, Ben Hernandez Bray. This is the moment we have been waiting for. I know your adrenaline, your prayers, and your feelings, your emotions are all going to be in just an hour or so when everyone can see at least the premiere. But Friday, May 3rd, right before Cinco De Mayo, the public, the world will see El Chicano. At those, and in a couple of more days, then your thoughts, where will you be in that universe of excellence?
I will be with my family. I will be with my familia. I will be with my wife, my kids. I know that we talked about going down to San Fernando Mission and seeing my mother and my brother, which will happen on May 3rd, just to just give thanks and love and it's the whole reason why this whole story started, from losing a brother to gang violence. But that's where I'll be, and just hoping the community really embraces it. This is our opportunity for Latinos to have their own superhero, to see familiar faces on the screen, and just feel proud as they walk out of the theater.
And if we can just seize this moment here, because it's so unique for us to be able to cover our people,
Wonderful.
La Raza, here on the red carpet.
Yeah, man.
Very uplifting, very motivating, because we want more. Queremos más. And you're on a mission to do that. Talk
Yes.
a little bit after El Chicano is settled, and even into next year, more production plans, because that's what we'll be waiting for, to see more.
Yes, definitely. You know, it's funny. It's as soon as it's interesting to see a film like this, and as soon as it was purchased at Briarcliff, their offers are coming in. Some are good, some are that unfortunately right now I'm not interested in. I'm interested in telling Latino stories right now. We have a lot of Latino stories to tell, from our abuelitas to our mothers, Christmas dinners. I think there's an area of this Tyler Perry feel that, but on the Latin tip, that we have comedy and we have drama, we have all these amazing stories that have, we're just scratching the surface with them. So I'm looking forward to that. So my promise to the Latino community and the Latinx community and to the veteranos and the old school gente is that I'm taking it upon myself to really make wise choices as a director. And right now, I just want to do Latino-based stories. So I'm looking forward to that.
And before we let you go,
Yeah.
man, into the next, because this is all media here waiting to speak to you, and
Yeah.
Just to give the inspiration to those that are younger, that are now want to get into cinema, want to
Yeah.
go to USC, want to go to UCLA, go to the film schools, wherever they can get
Yeah.
footing into the industry. Your advice to them and how they can pursue that dream.
I'll tell you one thing, perseverance is the biggest motivation. Never give up, never accept no. I'm standing here. I'm the epitome of a Latino kid that grew up in the barrio here in the San Fernando Valley, who had hopes and dreams, and I'm sitting here on this carpet right now talking with you, man. So it's a true blessing, and it's like, anybody that you could do anything you want in life, and especially think outside the box. If somebody I was a product of a welfare family, and I dreamed big. My mother and my grandmother, who are my parents, really taught me that perseverance and create that fourth wall and don't listen to anybody and move forward. And as in reference to schooling, listen, if don't be hard on yourself. USC is wonderful. AFI is fantastic. UCLA has a great program also. But I think, listen, junior college classes, storytelling is storytelling. If you find workshops online, if your parents can't afford it, if you can't afford it, if you just don't quite have those grades, don't give up. Don't give up, man. Everybody has their own story to tell. And it's important that you do that. Everybody's different. Everybody adapts. Everybody learns differently. If this is what you want to do, keep pursuing it, man. It's going to happen.
Then in the future, you might be able to get through your agent and ask you to come and be part of a symposium. We'd like to talk about that
I'd be
in
honored.
our community.
I'd be honored.
Please, we're certainly working
Yes,
on that now,
please.
and we want to originate it through USC
I'd
and
love
their
to.
school of cinema, of course. But we want to be able to bring our heroes, our producers, our gente,
Please.
and please to contribute more to the dialogue.
It would
and
be
create
my
more
privilege
awareness.
to do that, brother. Muchas
And
gracias,
Hernandez,
señor.
always,
Thank you,
we'll
brother.
see you soon. Thank you,
soon.
Ben.
Thank
See you
you,
soon.
man.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Another especially invited guest, and no stranger to her fan base, but also now here in Hollywood, we're ready for the premiere of El Chicano. We're speaking to Rivera Orozco.
Mucho gusto. Thanks for having me. Very excited to be here.
And please, you're part of the community here of actors and producers and workers here in this industry. Talk about your presence tonight and the significance of watching El Chicano very soon here on the premiere.
Absolutely. Well, I have followed Raul Castillo's career for many years. As a matter of fact, we met back in New York when we were just doing theater. And it's very exciting to see how much he has grown and seeing him in a lead role and especially playing a superhero. That's not something that we see every day. Very encouraging for the community, so I had to be here and support.
And your career path, talk about the successes that you've had on your career in Hollywood.
Absolutely. Well, I've been in LA only 5 years. So since I got here, I'm pursuing film and TV, and mostly have been recently in Hand of God and Criminal Minds and Dear White People. And then currently producing my own content as well, writing and co-producing, and yeah.
Okay, and who's to say that the this showing of El Chicano or the appearance of a movie like El Chicano creates more pathways, more opportunities? Would you characterize it?
I do believe so, and I think that every time that we see ourselves portrayed in roles that are not stereotypical, we're opening the eyes to everybody to realize, like, oh, guess what? We can also play that. So I'm looking forward to see what else comes out after it. But we are definitely seeing a growth in the community. We're seeing more presence. We're seeing more TV shows. So I'm very excited to see what the next year is going to bring.
And of course, with that happening, it's going to be many more successful productions, and we can't wait to see those. And hopefully, we'll be able to see you as well.
Oh, I hope so too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you
and
for
hopefully we'll see
having
you
me.
down.
Nice to meeting you. Thank you.
So now we're going to be speaking with Marco Rodriguez, and Marco, you're here for the debut and the screening of El Chicano. Talk about the significance
exactly right.
of the movie, and then of course we're going to learn a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. Well, first of all, about the movie, I'm proud to be a part of this project. Ben, I think, put a lot of heart into it. And my part, I especially enjoyed my part. Jesus really symbolizes the veterano, the survivor in our barrio. And he's a guy who's been through a lot of wars, but has survived. And I think he represents that ability for us to move beyond just the violence and the drugs, and to turn our energy back into helping our community. And that's exactly what he represents in this movie, and that's why I'm so proud to be a part of it.
And you mentioned your part as Jesus in the movie, correct?
Yes,
You're going to be
that's
a
correct.
very, very critical, in my imagination, before going in to see it, you're going to be very key in your role.
I believe so. I mean, he's a mentor, confident to the principal actor in the film, who I look to as my son. And I mentor him, and it's the type of relationship that I think that we need more of in our community. You know,
And working with an all Latino cast, they say this is very
which
historic.
is fantastic. I mean, to me, it means a lot that we pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and we got this thing done, and it's a superhero movie. It's so different than anything that I think that's been out there before.
We're going to see a movie that lends itself to the camaraderie, the spirituality, the friendships that you have made in terms of being a cast that's pulled together for the first time. And now out of this is going to be some fusion, because your characters are going to be well identified with the viewers.
Yes, and we hope. We hope that there's some traction and some life to this movie, and that it brings other good things. You know.
Marco Rodriguez, we want to thank you for giving us an opportunity.
it's
Just
absolutely my pleasure.
a quick peek into the movie.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy
okay,
it.
and we're certainly going to look forward to it. Thank you very much, my friends. Thank you.
Kind of assess everything that's been going on and put it in
Raul Castillo, the lead actor, nuestro héroe of the movie, and of course in life, because now we're going to be seeing images, Raul, and you know how important movies are to our gente. We 2/3 of the movie-going audience happens to be us, and now it's time, and ya llegó el tiempo. Raul, por favor, just tell us in English your feelings at this moment to see the premiere, and then of course Friday on the grand opening. Talk about El Chicano.
Es un orgullo. I'm here. Like, it's been a really special experience. Both the making of the film. I mean, a film is the process. That's all we have, is the making of it, and meeting Ben Hernandez, Bray, our director, who's the heart and soul of this film. The minute you meet him and you sort of you feel it. He's telling his story, and we were very lucky, I think, to have that. At the end of the day, to have a leader, to have someone guide us through this process that has a real vision. He's a real visionary. He's telling a story. His brother is a former U.S. Olympian boxer. Ben put his own boxing talents to work and led that to a career in stunt making and stunt acting, stunt coordinating, and had a story to tell. He was looking to transform his tragedy into something positive. And Joe Carnahan, our producer, and who's a dear friend of Ben's, pushed him to see the script through and to finish the project. And here we are, 3 years later. As far as I met Ben 3 years ago, and here we are, like. And on the red carpet at the ArcLight in LA, and it's a really exciting time. I think we've been waiting as Latinos for a long time for a movie like this.
And what makes this such a huge anticipation for us is we're talking about some consistency now, because this is made into a sequel.
That's right.
In that phase, in that pattern of movie going.
Good, yeah, sure.
Well, we certainly are going to hope for that, because then that marks consistency. Now they're talking about Captain Marvel, they'll talk about James Bond, they'll talk about all these other heroes that we've seen in movies, and now we've given birth.
Yes.
Is coming very, very soon.
That's
and
right.
Just to know that you're going to be in that mix, Raul, for your family, your close friends, your mentors, teachers. Talk about how you will share this experience with them.
Well, it is something incredibly special. I'm a Texas boy. I'm not from LA. I have to admit that for all the LA fans. Shout out to East LA. Shout out to the Rio Grande Valley. I'm from McAllen, Texas, and in South Texas. My family's from Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico. I'm the first in my family to go to college. I'm the first in my family in this industry, and I'm incredibly proud to be here. To be representing the film. I think this is a long time coming, and I'm excited for. I think this is the beginning of a larger wave. I mean, I'm on a show called Vida that's on Stars. And it's also like El Chicano. It's an all Latino cast, and like it, I'm just as proud and excited about that project. It's proving to me that si se puede. We can do it as a community. We can build each other up. It's about time, that we helped each other out. Ben wrote this beautiful role, and I'm honored to be able to portray it. I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate to be able to be the face of El Chicano.
And after millions upon millions see this movie tonight, for those of our youth, the young ones who will then become the superhero, we'll be possibly seeing many El Chicanos or Chicanitos who were performing good for the community. Your thoughts on knowing that you have played a big part in the spawning of that?
I was doing interviews with George Lopez this morning, and George was such a part of my upbringing. I watched George on TV as a kid. My family and I shared his jokes with one another. It was important for me as a young person to be able to see him on screen, on television, and recognize that he was like me. He was like my family. To have guys like Marco Rodriguez, Saul Lopez, Emilio Rivera, these veterans, veteranos, along with David Castañeda, along with Juan Pablo Cantillo, with Noel G, with Mr. Criminal, with Aimee Garcia. Are you kidding me? It's an illustrious group, and I'm honored to be there with everyone.
And we're honored to have had you here on the red carpet here to pave the way in for the debut.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Narrative here and over camera shot here. You see George Lopez just to our left, and he's going to be pretty much in demand by everyone here in terms of the media, because this is going to be a big departure from his normal, his regular comedian type of approach to movie making. He's going to be a very, very big part of El Chicano. So we're going to come right back with a few more of the interviews here of the red carpet, the actors and celebrities that are here. This is East LA Sports Scene.
Mask has that red on it. So it's like, oh man, I'm just gonna blend it in.
Jose Cantillo, good to meet you and glad for you, and a moment of pride for La Raza to see an all Latino cast come out with El Chicano. This is a movie we have been waiting for years. You're a part in it, and Jose, first of all, how you feel on the premiere night?
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited and I'm so happy. I did see the film, and I can't wait to see it again, especially on the big screen. It's so powerful on so many different levels. The story, the characters, the world that is being represented, and that hasn't been highlighted in this way, being part of an all-Latino cast. I mean, there's so many things, and of course, just being a big fan of the film, fan of everybody who made the film as well.
And the cast is very rich in terms of its experience. The veterans are here. You've got George Lopez, Raul Castillo, and your role. Tell us a little bit about yours.
So I play Detective Martinez, and I'm partners with the main character by day, right? And I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm the partner by day, if you will. And we have to sort this very complex, mystery. There's been a turf war. But the lead detective, who's my partner, now has a personal connection to some of those that have fallen and the activity that's increased. And so I have a great character that has to support him, but at the same time has to good old-fashioned police work and trying to navigate, hey, don't let this get too personal at the same time with his connection to the case. And it's such an exciting character to have played, Martinez.
And Jose, you had been acting for some time. Talk about some of the trials and tribulations to get you to this moment, because it's been hard work for you.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it has been hard work. It's been, like I said, almost 2 decades now. Started off in New York doing theater, and you got to go out and you got to win each role. And even El Chicano. I didn't know Ben Bray, or I hadn't seen him in a long time. So one of my first roles when I got here almost, 2 decades ago, was a show called Nip Tuck.
Okay.
And there was a crew, this gang that comes through at the end of the film, and they mess my character up.
Oh boy.
One of the stunt guys ends up coming up in this business, and he writes and directs El Chicano. So we were reunited almost 2 decades later, and both of us have our battle wounds, have our scars, emotional, physical, and but each time growing, and each time we get to carry those experiences over and apply it to the characters in the work. And so the trials and tribulations, specifically, like I said, the work is the fun stuff, right? It's when all the lights are finally done and they yell wrap. It's a sad thing. It's bittersweet because you want to know that it's a wrap, meaning we accomplished it. We can finally let this character sit for a minute. But at the same time, especially with El Chicano, I miss that set. I miss it. And so that's the play and that's the fun stuff. The work is, obviously in between the jobs and trying to see more projects that are like El Chicano, roles that have great Latinos and a great diversity and everyone represented in a way that's organic to the story.
And this will not be the end of El Chicano. This is only the beginning, the way we see it.
That's a great point. Yeah, so I get to see guys like you and guys like my compadre over here. Thank you.
We're so proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you. Okay.
Gracias.
All right, there you go. We're going to continue on with some of the cast members, the artists the actors that are in this movie. This is East LA Sports Scene. Emilio Rivera.
Yes, sir.
Buenas noches, and wow, El Chicano, 2 powerful words in your role in the movie and your expectations.
I play a guy named Shadow, and you see me rarely on the screen, and I'm not a good guy. I'm always a bad guy, so El Chicano, when you're bad, he comes at you, bro. He takes care of one gangster at a time. You're going to trip out on it tonight. I'm very proud of Ben Bray and George Lopez. George Lopez did an amazing job as the chief of police, and yeah, I think we've been waiting. We need this, Hernandez.
Yes.
That's us been waiting for this,
Oh, absolutely. And when the call came, when the casting went out, here's Emilio waiting and ready to go. Your thoughts when you accepted the role?
Well, actually, I had known about it way earlier, and we did a table read, and I'm just glad Ben remembered me. Me and Ben Bray go back. He used to be my stunt double back in the day.
Yes.
He became an actor, and now he's directing this beautiful film, El Chicano. So I'm very proud of him, man. I'm just proud that I'm going to be part of it,
And Emilio, a little bit about your background and where you came from, how you grew up watching movies, or falling in love with it.
I was, my parents were migrant workers, the San Antonio, Texas. We came over here when I was 4 years old. Lived in Nevada, grew up, gang-related ways and drug-related ways. I got clean and sober 29 years this month. I'm clean and sober, and but I've always liked the cinema. I've always liked the movies. So, and the acting kind of saved my life, brother. So this is what I'm doing here right now.
Oh,
I mean, it changed my whole life.
Blessing. You're talking about a divine blessing.
I thank God every day, my brother. Every day.
And your family, talk about that. How married with children.
At the end, at the end of the day, it's all about the familia, and I'm very big on that. People see me who follow me on Instagram, Emilio Rivera 48. Know I'm all about the familia and the dogs. Got to take care of the dogs, brother. They'll change your heart around, make you a lot softer,
Hey, Emilio Rivera, we want to thank you very much, okay? George Lopez, we've been waiting for you, sir, to come and talk to us and talk to La Raza, the gente, and, of course, moviegoers of all persuasion and all walks of life.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this accomplishment, this huge movie coming out, El Chicano?
You know, there's a lot of movies that are really good movies, that are small movies that play big. This is a movie that didn't cost a lot of money, but plays big, and a lot of those movies never find the funding and never get made. It's unfortunate. But when you see one like this, that I'm glad it got made. I'm glad I'm part of it. You know, I've sat around and watched some movies that I wasn't in and thought, would I want to have been that movie? But if this one came out and I wasn't in it and I had a really nice part in it, very different for me, dramatic instead of comedy. If they do another one, I'll be in that one. And then you have this one that, you hope that, like when you get a horse in the race that people come and see, that the first weekend, that it surprises people by making more money than anybody would have thought it would have made that week. So everything's underestimated. Everything that we do is underestimated. So if you can impress people by numbers, that's what they understand. It'll be a good weekend for the movie.
And Ben Hernandez Bray told us when we interviewed him at the Combates Americas that people are going, and your fans and others are going to see you in an entirely different role. What role that's going to really stand up even better?
I think it could. The real me is more serious than it is comedic. But I mean, for the job, it was good to be a comedian. All the guys are very introverted and serious and stuff like that. So, you haven't seen me in big comedies, broad comedies, and some dramatic spare parts and some other stuff. This year I did another movie with Edward James Olmos. That's like a spiritual movie. That's really good. He and I together, and Kathleen Quinlan. So I think that it's a good turn right now. Like it was a good movie to do. I think it'll do well. I think people will like it. And I am different than I am in anything I've ever done.
And when you were doing the movie, knowing that the theme is based out of East LA, it was huge. Every day you came to work, you knew you were in an environment that was already well known.
Yeah, my Nino lived in East LA, and I grew up in San Fernando. Ben Bray is from San Fernando too. So East LA is like the Brooklyn of the West, and Brooklyn's like East LA of the East. Is that there's a lot of incredibly talented artists, musicians, actors, singers, and it's Oscar De La Hoya, 10-time champ, is from East LA. So East LA's got a lot to be proud of, and hopefully this movie helps them be proud of them again.
And very quickly, George, before we move on, just your thoughts of the gente in East LA and beyond, knowing that now we have a base to move from. El Chicano could be the start of something big.
Well, we should always have each other's back. I mean, that's important, So whatever in our communities, and with the election coming, that the people who are able to vote, because it's important that we help the people that have no voice, because if we don't vote, then they can't vote, and then things change, and we're in a situation where we are right now. So in order to make change, you have to vote.
Suerte.
Órale.
God bless.
Thank you.
Que Dios se los bendiga. All right. Thanks, George. Okay. All right. We're here. I think there may be a few more of the actors that are coming down the red carpet for the screening here of El Chicano, superhero-oriented movie. Okay. So we'll gather up here in a moment and come right back. This is East LA Sports Scene. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. And here we go. And now, Noel G here for a specially invited guest. He's no stranger to moviegoers. He makes movies. Noel, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Blessed to be here, man. Blessed to be a part of this film. Blessed all the way around. I can't complain. I complain, nobody listens anyway, so.
You've had your fair share of some very big movies. Just kind of review a few for our viewers.
I've been blessed, man. I was in the Highway Speed Chases, America's Most Wanted, Cops, Lockup. No, I'm playing. I'm kidding. Training Day, Fast and Furious, Bruce Almighty, The Purge Part 2, and some other movies. So, and El Chicano right here.
Okay.
So.
And talk about the career path. How did it start, and what kept you on track?
It literally started by being at the right place at the right time, to be 100% completely honest. I was never looking for it, never searching for it, kind of fell on my lap. Did a commercial, And ever since I did that, I just had a love for it. And then I met up with the manager, and he started sending me out on auditions. But everything he sent me out on was like Chola 1, Gangster 2, Trigger. I'm like, what? I thought I was here to act. I grew up like that in real life. And just took off from there, and that's what happened. So.
Okay, and you stay persistent. You were always ready and available. Casting calls came out.
Yeah,
There you are,
always.
your manager, of course,
You
your
always
agent.
make yourself available, because that's just important, to be available, to make yourself available. Because if not, there's 50 guys behind you ready to jump if you don't.
And there's one aspect I haven't really talked to with your actors here in El Chicano, but for you, since we have a little bit more time, the importance of a good agent.
An agent is really important, yeah, because you need someone who believes in you to push you. So yeah, an agent is very, very important.
So we have other up-and-coming movie actors. When they look at their checklist, they have to look at the agent as well.
That's a big part of it, is what I would say. Yes.
And well, talk about your role in the movie.
So El Chicano, I play one of the villains. I'm kind of like the center link to a lot that goes on in this movie. So, I don't want to give too much of it away, because that's by request of some of the producers and some of the main people, so I can't say too much. But it was a stretch for me. I had to play a gangster. It was hard. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Okay, but Hollywood and, of course, the movie industry is now taking a closer look at La Raza.
Yeah,
us,
awesome.
Because of El
and
Chicano.
and the Latinos are starting to blow up, so we on the map. So check us out soon. That's what's up. Yeah.
Now, beyond El Chicano, what might we be looking for in the near future for you?
Tax Collector. That's also another movie with George Lopez, Shia LaBeouf. And then I got my horror movie, Psychopath, with Rampage. And if you guys want to follow me to keep up on some other stuff dropping, Actor NOLG is my social media. Much love, man. I love you guys, and you guys take care. And the one thing that I tell everybody is never quit. The only way you can fail in life is if you quit in life. So never quit, never give up. You can do it. God first, and the rest will work itself out.
Si se puede. Noel G, we thank you, brother. Good luck to you, man. All right. There you heard, right, from the man himself. He has been in over 175 movies to his credit, and he is still thriving in Hollywood. So we'll be back with more of East LA Sports Scene, but I think we'll be giving the notice to go inside now for the new premiere of El Chicano in just a moment. This is East LA Sports Scene. Okay, and it's our pleasure here on the red carpet, Sal Lopez, to talk about this momentous occasion.
It is, I think it is, yeah.
Hollywood has opened the doors now for El Chicano.
Yeah.
It's not going to close.
Well, I hope
This
not.
is it. We are now, I want to not say safely in, but in where we can meet and greet others who understand our passion for making movies and being in movies.
Absolutely, you're right.
But Sal, here we are, El Chicano. How are you doing?
I'm doing terrific, man. I'm happy to be here, proud to be in this movie, and Ben Bray is one of the up-and-coming directors. This is his story, and it's a personal story, and inspired by him and his brother, etc. And it's a great cast. So we're glad to be here, man. Opening premiere at the ArcLight in Hollywood.
Beautiful. Who could ask for more? It's not a dream.
That's right.
This is reality. We're very happy for it. But the theme, the storyline here, we can say Chicano, but at the same time, Latino to encompass our other brothers and other culturas that go through some of the same things that we do here in Los Angeles.
It's a very universal story. It's a story really of a folk hero, superhero, if you will, but his superpowers are human.
Yes.
And it takes place in the barrio, and there's good guys and bad guys, but it's all Latino cast, and so it's groundbreaking. Hopefully it'll do well, and then we can make more. There's a lot of our stories to be told.
And produced in the mode of, would you say, a sequel? Because when
definitely.
you walk out of watching El Chicano, we're going to want more.
Absolutely, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Joe said I'm coming back. He said you don't die. I said okay.
Well, this is
whatever.
Good. Now, Sal, talk a little bit about your background, how you started in cinema.
Oh man, I started a long time ago doing a play here on Sunset on a play called Zoot. And that was my first time here, and then I've been doing it ever since.
With Eddie James.
We're James. Yeah. I'm actually there's actually a movie that he just directed called Sleeping with. No, it's called Yeah, Sleeping with the Devil, I think. No, it's not. That's another movie. It's called Something Devil that he just directed, and I'm in it, and I have a tiny thing in it.
Well, this is good because the Eddie James Olmos fanship, we're waiting to see more of him.
Yeah.
And
He
more of his
directed this
productions.
film, and it's just going to be a good one. Okay. It's going to be a really good one.
Okay, and let's say you're a native of what city?
You know what? I grew up here.
Okay.
I grew up here in South Central LA, man, and
Okay.
so I'm a native boy.
All right. Very familiar, though, with family maybe in East LA or in the Valley or everywhere?
Oh, yeah. You know, I grew up in, I went to Huntington Park High, so,
Okay.
and, you know, I'm in Boyle Heights all the time.
Okay, wonderful. Now, talk about some of the people you've met who are absolutely, as they would say, Hollywood stars that you've worked with, people that automatically know that they've seen their movies and people just continue to watch them. And now you're going to be seen as well.
Well, I hope so. I mean, you know, I've worked with a lot of people, but, you know, we don't have time to go through that list. But, you know, I've got a couple movies coming out. There's one called Hyperions that's coming out. And then this movie for Hulu called Culture Shock by a Latina woman director, Mexican-American director.
Okay.
And then I'm starting a movie called Centurion in a couple of days, and then I'll be doing another John Sayles film, his new film, in the fall. Okay. And then I'm in a new show called Too Old to Die Young. It's going to be a really cool show on Amazon.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And it airs when or premieres when?
That's in June, I think. June, yeah. All right.
Sal Lopez, we're going to let you get in there to
All right,
see
brother.
El Chicano, but let's
Thank
stay in
you.
touch.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank
Okay, speaking with Mr. Robert Garcia, and he is in the movie, but also additionally now the soundtrack, the music.
Yeah.
Robert, how you doing tonight? And let's talk about your role in the movie.
Blessed, man. Yeah, you know, I play a dude named Jaws in the movie. You know, coming in to handle business. I'm the one that causes disruption through the movie, as you guys are going to see. And, yeah, just had a blessing to work with Ben Bray and Joe Carnahan. They gave me the opportunity. I also got by Mr. Criminal, and also did a couple tracks on the movie soundtrack as well. So we're making history for Latinos out here.
And you got to feel very proud and inspired, motivated, because El Chicano will leave the movies at some point, but it will continue.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to be now a cult following maybe, or a big fan base, just like the other Captain Marvels and all those James Bond and all the big time stars have their sequels, and you possibly could be a part of that as well.
Absolutely. I don't want to give out too much information, but definitely I've had conversations with Ben and Joe, and there's definitely some more stuff coming on the way. So be continued. El Chicano is going to be a series forever.
And Robert, tell a little bit about your background. You're born and raised in?
I was born in Whittier, California, raised all throughout Southern California. I'm from Silver Lake, Riverside, California. You know, representing for all my people out here. Southern California bred, baby.
Okay. And where can your fan base find you on social media?
Mr. Criminal, you just Google Mr. Criminal, Instagram, Mr. Criminal, Facebook, Mr. Criminal. You guys will run right into me, man. Representing for the West.
And can you tell us a little bit how the sound, the music to the movie will be? Will that be something we would probably want to download and have in our music library?
Yeah, they're available right now on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can stream music right now. The El Chicano soundtrack is presented by Mitch Lee and myself, and yeah, it's already came out. Like, I think it's been out 48 hours. The first 2 tracks by myself already got stars, so yeah, we're making noise.
Okay. And quickly, Robert, your family, others that are also involved in, say, the movie making business, or just supporting you as well?
Nah, definitely just supporting me, man. This is just coming from the mud, man. I never even thought about acting in my life. Got discovered by David Ayer on Bright, and now I'm here, man.
And you are on your way. Si se puede. Hey, Robert, good luck to you. Gracias a usted. Okay. And we're still here on the red carpet talking to as many of those involved in this movie, because it's super. A superhero is going to be portrayed, and the superhero is going to come out and then say, my next mission will be, and we'll have to tell him what we want him to do. So we're here just in a minute or two. We're going to wrap things up from the red carpet, but tonight it's El Chicano and the black carpet. Same situation, same meaning. We're talking to our people here, the stars and the producers and the makers of El Chicano. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And here we are now, ready to close up our activities here on the red carpet. Also the the black carpet here for El Chicano, and it's been a great opportunity to meet the cast members, a lot of other actors, and specially invited guests that made their appearance here in support of this very epic movie. It's going to be a movie people will be talking about for years to come, but we will also be waiting for the sequel that will happen. We don't know when, but El Chicano is the pioneer movie, and it's opening the gates, as we discussed with all of our guests here, because now we feel that we're inside and now able to meet and greet those that are holding the power of production here in Hollywood, the film capital of the world. So East LA Sports Scene, very thankful to Tanya from Think Latino for her gracious hosting of us here and inviting us to become participants of this historic movie, major movie called El Chicano, the first of many more to come. So for Eric Sarney, our cameraman, and our photographer, digital photographer, Frankly Robles, and the producer, Rico Cabrera II, yours truly, Rico Cabrera Sr., who's made up our cast here, our production crew of East LA Sports Scene. Thanks for watching, and continue to stay with us here on EastLASportsScene.com. So be careful, be safe, but more importantly, as we always say, be back and watch more content that we produce for East LA Sports Scene and our community. Take care, and we will see you soon.